These people try to sabotage you because they sense you're about to come up. They know you're about to be blessed. They know you're about to be gifted. They know you're about to do something that's going to put you on a whole other level, and they can't stand it. That absolutely scares them. So that's why they begin to sabotage. There are some people, they get jealous and envious of your come up. They can see how well you're doing in your job. They can see how well you're being received by other people, and they want to do something to get in the way. They want to sabotage that. I heard two separate stories. The first one being a young woman who went into the bank. She went to get a withdrawal for her rent, and the bank teller told her that she had $1.7 million in her account. She was taken aback because, of course, she didn't deposit $1.7 million into her account. Nonetheless, that's what was in there. So naturally, doing her due diligence, this woman asked the bank teller, was there some kind of mistake? Where did it come from? She reassured the bank staff that she is explaining to them that it's not her money. She's aware that it's not her money, and they're telling her that it's hers. And come to find out, the company who made the mistake, based on what this woman said, they were perfectly fine with taking the loss, meaning that money would have been hers. It was an honest mistake on their part, and they didn't feel like they were going to penalize the woman for their mistake. That was a huge, major blessing for her. So this woman, she made the mistake that most people do when they're not used to the blessing, they're not used to coming up. They went and told people. This woman went and told two of her coworkers, and then she told some of her relatives. Do you know that those relatives went and called the bank and said that that money is not hers? She shouldn't have access to that money. They absolutely pressed the bank to the point where they took that $1.7 million out of her account. When you tell people what you've been blessed with, when you tell people about your come up, about your level up, about the things that you're doing, sometimes you are secretly sabotaging yourself. This young woman has such a caring, giving heart. She was already talking about paying other people's bills, paying off student loans and what have you. And the very people that she was probably going to help are the ones who threw her under the bus. Now, this is not a matter of whether or not she should have kept the money. It wasn't hers anyway. For people who get envious of the fact that they see you about to come up, they see that you're about to be blessed in some way, they will make it their mission to sabotage you. Her having that money did nothing to those relatives. Her having that money did nothing to her coworkers. And from what she said, the coworkers, when she told them about the incident, they didn't receive it too well. They gave her that dead energy that says, okay. They were jealous. So understanding that when something immaculate happens, because this right here, for $1.7 million to be dropped into your account and you didn't have any say in the matter, and they were telling you that you should keep it, this woman should have kept her mouth shut. But she did like many people do. She went right to her saboteurs and told them what happened. And this brings me to the next point. When it comes to your close family and friends, yes, most people who are not toxic, who do not have envy and jealousy deep into their heart, they want to see other people win. But oftentimes, it's only to a certain extent. People who get jealous and envious of your sudden come up, when things change for you quickly. I mean, you go from being broke to being rich in one day. And the way I believe, while some people might see it as just a mistake, I believe that God can do all things. And I believe that this very well could have been a blessing for her. But her being naive and not understanding that those jealous, envious spirits that like to attach themselves to people who are being blessed, who are coming up in some way, do like to sabotage and destroy the very gift that you had access to. So this woman forfeited her blessing, I believe, forfeited her gift simply because she was dealing with sabotaging spirits. There are some people, they do not want to see you come up. They want to see you eat, just not as good as them, just not better than them. They want to see you doing well. They don't want you out on the streets, but they don't want you in a mansion either. They want to see your belly full. They want to see you eating food. They just don't want you to have filet mignon. They don't want you to have no caviar. They want to make sure you have your Doritos and your hot dogs, just no caviar. I hope you get the point. And when you understand those kind of things, you stop telling people every time you get little wins in life, every time something extravagant, something out of the ordinary happens for you. If that would have happened to me, nobody would have known about it. I might have hesitated on whether or not I would have told my husband. That's a joke, of course, but I say that to say sometimes we self-sabotage, not realizing that everybody cannot handle what you're doing or your sudden come up. The next story I heard about was over on TikTok with our beloved Peach McIntyre. I'm sure many of you are familiar with her. She was doing this whole promo where she was actually getting stylists to pay her to do their hair. And because of her social media presence, it was good promotion for them. And from what I'm seeing, these businesses are flourishing under her promotion. If anything, she does have good business sense when it comes to making money in that regard. Her problem is that when somebody starts outshining her, that's when the sabotaging attempts come in real time. There's a woman, another stylist in Florida called, her name is Ann Riley. And from what I'm hearing, I don't know all the deep details, but this woman has been flourishing. She actually was in a position where she had to give the money back to her, and this woman's business kind of just took off. She, of course, doesn't like to be outshined by anybody, so she's saying that she is going to report this woman to Section 8. She's going to get the roof and the food ripped right out of her mouth and from over her head because this woman is outshining her. Jealousy and envy is one heck of a stimulant, okay? When people start seeing you doing better than them, because the moral of this story, this part of the video, is that people have no problem helping you and seeing you win as long as you don't start surpassing them. The moment you start surpassing them, the moment you start getting more notoriety, the moment you start getting more attention, more success, more feedback, more influence than them, they have to swoop in and do something to sabotage you. And normally, people who have a deep root of jealousy and envy and just overall misery, they like to go deep into the trenches with how far they want to mess you up. It wasn't an issue with her of hair, money, any of that anymore. She wants to rip the roof from this woman and her kid's head. Anytime you contact the state about somebody's children and get them involved, you don't care about that person. And jealousy and envy will have people going into the gutter, going into the trenches in order to sabotage you. And it's all because you pose some kind of threat. And the reason why this is happening is because this woman, Ann Riley, from what I'm hearing, I don't know this stuff definitively, but from what I'm hearing, during the course of their interactions, and there is a lesson in this, during the course of their interactions, she's doing Peach's hair, she started giving her details about her personal life. Mistake number one. You never cross business and personal relationships with somebody you are paying money to. You never cross boundary lines with people who's doing promotion for you. Her interaction with Peach was nothing more than business. The idea that she opened up her personal life to somebody like her, that is the issue. And yes, I say somebody like her because if you look through her social media profile, while she has business acumen, while she has a little bit of business savvy, her character overall is a tad bit messy. And she has shown people that she is willing to do whatever for money. She plays in people's faces constantly. That's her hustle. That's her business. But the point that I'm making is that understanding all of that, and this comes down to patterns, understanding the patterns of messy people. When you see these kind of things and you have wisdom and you have discernment, you treat those people as exactly what they are. Ann Riley should have been treating that woman like a business partner, nothing more, nothing less. But she made the mistake of confiding in someone who could not be trusted. And many women do this. Many women see their business partners, their coworkers, people they don't even know that well. They open themselves up to these people and start telling them information that they should not know. I have been on the receiving end of people giving me all their business when they don't even know me that well. And while I take it as an honor, they might trust me, they see me as someone they can trust, and they can. Everybody is not like that. Everybody is not the kind of person that you can just give them your information because you're trying to fill the silence. And a lot of women do that. When they get bored or they're trying to fill the silence when they're doing business, or, you know, they're in a certain situation with different women, they start trying to relate to other women by opening up themselves, by giving out all their personal business. And what you don't realize is that oftentimes you are giving people ammunition to use against you, depending on who you're talking to. And this is exactly what Ann Riley did. I'm guessing she told her some information about whatever she had going on personally, because it's not random that somebody would say, I'm going to call Section 8, okay? There had to be some kind of information given that made her be able to use that as a threat. So the point being is that when people start seeing you come up, when you're about to surpass them, when they start seeing you about to outshine them, outrace them in life and positions of power and opportunities and influence, especially women, they get very jealous and envious, and they try to start sabotaging you. They start trying to tarnish your name amongst the people. And for some reason, I don't think this is going to work. And this is just my opinion. Her reaching out to Section 8 and all that stuff is still not going to make her be the most popular person on social media or as far as hairstylists go. You know, you even have Tia Kemp now, which I have my whole idea and thoughts about her, but I'll leave that alone. She's now stepping into the realm of having people pay her to do her hair. You know, copycat mentality, jealousy, envy, sabotage, these things are prevalent amongst women. If you spend about 5 minutes on social media, you can see how women play in each other's face constantly. And when they get a little bit threatened, they feel jealous and envious of one another, they like to cross into other people's lanes. And when you're a confident woman, when you are focused on yourself, when you don't feel like you have to step on the next woman to get ahead, you stay in your own lane. And these two stories that I told you about, especially the second one with Peach McIntyre, when somebody sees you as a threat and you're about to get the notoriety, the attention, the compliments, what have you, they start going deep into the gutter. They will throw you under the bus quicker than your eyes can blink. So these people, they see you about to come up. They see you about to surpass them, and they start trying to sabotage you. The first story I gave you, that was of a woman who just is a little bit naive, very kind-hearted, nothing wrong with that. But when you start reaching back to help people who don't want to see you win, that is a problem. And some people might be thinking, well, how did she know that they were going to do that? I hate to say this, but if you really observe the people that you're around, family, friends, whoever, if you look at those people without looking through rose-colored glasses, you can see who you need to protect yourself from, who you can tell information to, who you can't. You know, sometimes being naive and having this so-called kumbaya spirit, you try to overlook things that are right in your face. Some people show you constantly that you can't trust me. Some people show you constantly that I only like you when you're down and out. Some people show you that I like you better when you're struggling. We just don't want to believe it because of who it's coming from. It's like, not my best cousin, not my auntie, not my mom, not my brother, not my sister. Yeah, sometimes it's them. And when it comes to this woman, the fact that her family not try to talk her out of it, because, okay, family, if they want to get into your business and try to convince you to tell the bank to take the money back, whatever, that's a family discussion. When they go behind her back and contact the bank about her and say that she shouldn't have this money, that is jealousy and envy screaming at the top of its lungs. That is people minding the business that has nothing to do with them. When people get jealous and envious of the fact that you're about to come up just a little bit, when she said that number, I'm pretty certain some of her family members, those coworkers, their eyes probably started spinning like pinwheels. They just couldn't believe it. People didn't think, especially the family, they probably didn't think, oh, she's come up, we've come up. And she even said it herself. The way I think about it is that I got this money, so we all are good. You know, I'm thinking about student loans, just pass me your bills. Being a kind-hearted woman, but being naive when it comes to jealousy and envy, that is going to leave you open to all kinds of hate, all kinds of sabotage, all kinds of negativity, simply because you're still trying to see the best in people. And while you don't want to look at everybody as if they're suspicious, when it comes to your lane, and this is very important, it's called self-awareness and situational awareness. When you are aware of the situation that you are in, when you are aware of how your life is dramatically changing, $1.7 million being deposited in one day, that was a dramatic change. You know what this woman should have did? She should have asked her manager if she could take the rest of the day off, go home and think. Think about your next move. Don't say anything to anybody and think about your next move. But like most women, she had the gift for gab and she had to go ahead and sabotage herself. I say sabotage herself because nobody asked her for that information. And that brings me to the next point. When people are trying to sabotage you because they see you about to come up, they are depending on your kind-hearted nature to give them all the ammunition they need to use against you. I have spoken about moving in silence more over on this channel. And at this point, when you start realizing that certain situations absolutely calls for you to move in silence, to just keep your moves to yourself, the more you get sabotaged by other people, the more you live life, the more you realize that being quiet is going to help you. This woman should have took the day off and thought about what she wanted to do next instead of telling other people. And as far as Anne Riley goes, I pray and hope that she does not get put out of her dwelling place simply because somebody is jealous of the fact that they're getting attention. And I also believe that, and I've seen a little bit of their interactions, I think she met her match a little bit in Anne Riley, and that probably irritated her as well. So these people, they try to sabotage you when they see you coming up a little bit. Be quiet and make sure that instead of talking so much to other people, get quiet and think about your next move so you don't get people trying to sabotage you. Like, subscribe, and share. Take care.